Then the 12 called upon the multitude of the disciples unto them, and said, It is not reason that we should leave the word of Jah and serve tables. Wherefore, brethren, look you out among you 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Ghost and wisdom, whom we may appoint over this business. Rastafari. Greetings, giving thanks. Ross reports the headline. ISIS. ISIS reportedly gained more control over the territory, and they're creeping towards Aleppo. Journal reports that ISIS' expansion of control can partially be attributed to the U.S. focus on Iraq, where it's working closely with Baghdad to roll against gains made by ISIS last summer. As a result, ISIS fighters are flowing into Syria unchecked. Syria rebel groups who have once fought against ISIS have been convinced to join their side. Syria rebel groups who have once fought against ISIS have been convinced to join their side. So again, ISIS is gaining ground as a result of a U.S.-led bombing campaign in Iraq. So they flipped it. And originally they thought, we'll spread them out in Syria and bomb particular targets in Syria. But there was the influx of fighters over the border into Iraq. So the thinking was, let's bomb Iraq and push them into Syria. Now these guys are tired at this point. They've been fighting for years. So they're willing to work with each other instead of fighting against each other. But remember, initially this was the goal, and it's split. The ISIS fighters effectively joined the side of Assad and began to fight against his opposition. Colonel Patrick Ryder, spokesman for U.S. Central Command, told the Wall Street Journal. That wasn't the objective of our airstrikes. Ryder calls the Syria airstrikes shaping operations. The objective remains the same. It's covert war. We're using these guys as pawns. We've set up all these fake websites. That's what the CIA does. Draw these foreign fighters in. Make them believe they're fighting for something they're not. Make them think they're going to have some kind of a promise. Nobody wants to put troops on the ground, but because that only brings the awareness to the table of what's going on. As long as there's somebody else fighting, and the media's loving it, they're having a parade because they can use the ISIS to put the fear into people, to have more security, because remember, the media functions as an arm for the old money banking interests. They just want to keep on top and everybody moving their currency all over the world because that's how they profit. That's what they're in the business to do. This added level of fear. You have the rationale for the security. You have the rationale for additional laws to be passed. And every time they pass one of these Patriot Acts, you know, for Barney Frank bailouts, what happens? Other measures are put in there that benefit certain companies, benefit certain individuals. You know, we had to get rid of our analog TV for a digital TV that never worked. And we all had to pay for it. Guess what? Somebody profited. And it's the crooks in Congress that are working with the crooks in Wall Street that are making this happen.